Welcome into PFF HQ. Austin Gayle here with Mike Renner, PFF analyst Mike Renner, rather. We're going to be talking some impact additions. You wrote the article for the site. It's time to dive into the guys on video, starting with D Ford of the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, these are the guys who are going to make the most impact on their new teams. Not necessarily the best additions, but taking into account what they had at the position last year. So the 49ers edge group, pretty trash last year. Cassius Marsh led them with 39 pressures. That edge group, very weak. D Ford, 78, double the total of their best pass rusher from a season ago. Now, that was a little bit of an outlier for D Ford's career. Probably comes back down to earth a little bit, but that 91.0 pass rushing grade, even if it comes back down to earth, is still going to be a massive, massive upgrade for the San Francisco 49ers at the edge position.
And the big question mark with D Ford and why he would, come shattering down back to earth is injury.
Yes.
We've seen with injury for him specifically that when suffering from certain ailments, he can't get up to that pass rush grade that we've seen last year. If he can stay healthy and Nick Bosa can stay healthy, this could be one of the better pass rushing tandems in the NFL. Staying on the defensive side of the ball and staying at edge defender, well, maybe a little bit more of a versatile piece. Trey Flowers going to the Detroit Lions.
Yes, while the 49ers probably the second worst edge rushing group in the NFL last year, Detroit Lions quite easily the worst pass rushing group off the edge in the NFL last year. Two starters, Romeo Okwara had the third lowest pass rushing grade among any starting edge defender. Devon Kennard had the second lowest pass rushing grade among starting edge defenders. So about as bad as that can get at the edge, Trey Flowers is going to make a massive impact. There's a reason why they backed up that Brinks truck for him. It's because they need someone to get after the passer. He can do it from the edge, from the interior, has seen this upward trajectory over the course of his career. 64 pressures last season was a career high. I think they got a good one, and I think he's going to be productive for them wherever they end up playing.
And with Trey Flowers, it's so important to know how versatile he is and to use him the right way. And if anyone's going to do it outside of New England, it's Matt Patricia,
Yes.
understanding that he can win inside on third and longs and he can win outside on early downs. It's exciting to see he's going to go to another system that will play to his strengths. Going to the offensive side of the ball, and the only rookie that we're going to be discussing on this video, Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals, is going to change what is going on in the desert.
Yeah, I think just simply the fact that his legs combined with David Johnson's legs and Cliff Kingsbury at the helm.
His legs.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury as well, but that gives them this sort of dynamic threat that just opposing defenses have to account for. Not necessarily even what he does as a passer. It might be a struggle for him year one. You don't know. That's always a rough transition to project from college to pro. But that rushing threat ability is going to open up so many things for David Johnson, open up so many things for Kyler Murray on the ground. And that is just going to make them immediately better overnight in the running game. You saw David Johnson just running into walls after wall last season with that weak Arizona Cardinals offensive line. Don't even really need a great offensive line when you have a two-headed threat at the quarterback and running back position with wheels like they have. You can work the option game, work some design runs with the quarterback that'll get you gobs of yards on the ground with purely scheme.
And if Kyler Murray can, make the best of that offensive line in Arizona. He's got a ton of pass-catching talent now in Arizona to get him over the hump in year one. Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk coming out, Larry Fitzgerald in the slot, and then you also have Hakeem Butler, a late-round pick. I think a combination of those guys make things easier for him in year one. Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns, one of the biggest signings of this, or trades of this offseason, one of the bigger impact additions.
Yes, and then I think it's the combination of Odell Beckham Jr. and Baker Mayfield, what that brings to the table. Baker Mayfield last year, 43 big-time throws, more than Eli Manning has had in any season since 2012. So Odell Beckham going to the best quarterback of his career via, the grades say that, the accuracy numbers say that, and where Mayfield wins, where he makes those big-time throws down the field, intermediate area is also where Odell Beckham wins as a route runner. That's where he is fantastic. So a lot of attention going to be going Odell Beckham's way, but now that frees up Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins to be the complementary pieces that they are. They are not number one type receivers. Odell Beckham is. Now you have a perfectly sort of designed offense there with the wide receiver talent they had and David Njoku at tight end. So I think it's a massive, massive upgrade. Not really, opposing defensive coordinator. Not really anything you can do in terms of sending help one way or the other to really, shut down this Browns offense.
Put simply, Odell Beckham Jr. wins routes 15 plus, 20 plus yards down the field. Baker Mayfield at his best, throwing 15 plus 20 yards down the field. I'm excited to see that matchup. I think everyone in the NFL, all NFL fans, are excited to see that that tandem. Going to Jacksonville Jaguars, they added a quarterback. They paid him enough money so he could win the locker room. Nick Foles, definitely going to be an impact addition, like you said, because of how much of an upgrade it is over Blake Bortles.
Yeah, very similar to why Kyler Murray is an upgrade. It's just it can't get worse than what we saw with Blake Bortles last season. It just has to get better, and at the most valuable position in the NFL, Foles should bring a big impact to the table. And I think the underrated aspect of the Foles signing is that Foles over the past 2 years has been very risk averse. He has not given the ball to opposing defenses. He doesn't. I think people will remember the Foles from earlier in his career with the Rams, where he was slinging the ball over the yard and it kind of got away from him at times. But over the past 2 seasons, only 11 turnover-worthy plays on 522 dropbacks. That's a rate better than guys like Drew Brees, even Carson Wentz there with the Philadelphia Eagles. He is not going to give the ball to opposing offenses there, and I think for the Jaguars defense, a defense that sort of looked like they got fatigued with how bad their offense was a season ago with all that talent there. If you're not giving the other team, if you're not giving them other team short yardage, easy opportunities to score, I think the Jaguars defense is going to be back at their best. And I think Nick Foles, all he has to do is lead a little bit of an offense to get them back in the playoff hunt.
Risk-adverse quarterbacks at the helm help good defenses, and I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, with all the talent they have, Yannick Ngakoue, Jalen Ramsey, and the lot, that can be a good defense with a risk-adverse quarterback like Nick Foles. For more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, or better yet, go to the site at profootballfocus.com.